parts of the Bronx that were in that video when the Bronx was burning. Thank you. And so you can see it's no longer burned down. And some structures, including that church, being renovated. But if we recall, this is the same area where you saw all those burned down buildings from the train on those documentaries on the South Bronx. This is Simpson Street. As you can see, it's not as bad as it once was. And you can see some of the old buildings in the background that were once burned down, that were renovated, and they still have some graffiti on them, but you can see all these other new buildings that they were once burned down buildings in their place, including these here. All these places that you see here, all these new buildings, they were all burned down buildings at one time, especially here on Intervale Avenue. That's a pretty new complex there. It's a few years old, but
this is a Manhattan-bound 2 train.
This is where it was all devastated.
Prospect Avenue.
Stand clear of the closing door.
And here you go, some other buildings here that took the place of burned down buildings. And you can see some of the old structures still up, but they've all been renovated. And then you see new buildings next to them that were completely rebuilt, where those buildings that fell to the ground. And you can see that road down there where all those buildings were renovated or rebuilt. Schools are being rebuilt here. All these new buildings over here. Let's look on this side. Excuse me. And obviously this lot here hasn't been rebuilt, but these buildings they were all buildings here at one point, and you see new buildings in the background, and you see that Soul Survivor in the background, and then you see, of course, this new structure here taking the place of buildings that were once burned down. Let's come back over here. And you can see this new building here too, and all those little new houses down the road there. Those were all burned down buildings at one point. Back here.
Okay, click on photos and then the last picture all the way at the bottom, that's blue.
And you see another series of new buildings in place of the former burned down buildings that you see in that documentary, with some glimpses of old structures that were rebuilt, including those buildings directly behind this building here, and these. Look on this side, excuse me, I'm sorry. And you see all the new little houses here, those were all burned down buildings at one point. So you see the Bronx has come a long way, especially the South Bronx. And of course here in this empty lot, there used to be buildings here that were also burned down. Now it's an empty lot, but you see that school here. And of course the projects.
This is Jackson Avenue.
Jackson Avenue. I can get off here to go home, but I'm going on 149th Street. And then you can see some more old structures in the background. Some of them are survivors from those days that were rebuilt, as you can see. And then there's a whole lot of new structures in the background. And then the projects, of course. But there was a time when a lot of those buildings were burned down, and they were rebuilt, or refurbished, so to speak, renovated. And the trains are clean, no graffiti. Let's come on this side. I'm sorry, sweetie. And you can see those houses there, and some new ones in the background. And some of those little houses have been around for a long time. And you got to remember that the landlords were the ones burning everything down. back in those days. And you see all those new structures back there? Those are all burned down buildings at one point. This is St. Anne's Avenue here. And you'll see a lot of the new buildings out there in the background that were also at one time not there. And the building is way back there. And those are all new. And this is South Bronx High School right here. And this is their field. And they even have a Maryland scoreboard over here. 3rd Avenue, right down the road. Shopping area. And then that's actually my neighborhood in the background back then, St. Mary's Park, where you see all those trees. And then you see PS 27 in the background, which is being renovated as well. And this right in front of us is actually a juvenile detention center. Now, that used to be a street there, 150th Street. It's when I first got my first dose of gang life when I was 10 years old. That's the juvenile jail. Alright. That's enough for now.